So I was thinking about a type of guy. Specifically, this guy is dumb Iron Man, like Iron Man, but if he was dumb. And the thought was Iron Man, origin story, stuck in the desert, taken hostage. But instead of fusion swapping his heart, right, putting a fusion reactor in his heart, he puts a 4G63 in his chest, a combustion engine, and he's called Iron Block Man. Is this anything? He like comes back from a harrowing experience in the Middle East, and he's just got a 4-cylinder just protruding out of his chest. He just like was, obviously still a genius. He was smart enough to figure out how to become the first man to ever replace his heart with a internal combustion engine, but just not quite smart enough to figure out the fusion reactor part. So he's Iron Block Man. It's not a K series because then Iron Block Man doesn't work because that's an aluminum block. So originally it was a K series in my head, but then I came up with Iron Block Man. And then, Jeff Bridges is trying to figure out how to copy him. And he's like, Tony Stark swapped a 4G63 into his heart in a cave. And it goes on from there. How's it going? That was kind of busting me up while I was driving. I'm in Indiana. There's only one audio channel. Ah, so true. Thank you. My receiver is in stereo. How's that? And we're back. Is this any better? Much better, much better. So I'm not at home. You can tell because I don't usually stream with that in the background. No link in the story, huh? Great point. Let me amend that. Let me amend that. Had a long drive today, gang. It was 9 hours. How do I link this stream? Share, copy link, Instagram. Done. Add to story. Delete story. Delete from both. Oh, the man's a technological genius. We're repping Sonoda Gang on this most stressful of weekends. Oh, ever since I heard the news, I've been on pins and needles. I'm pulling for little Ucumber, you know what I mean? But seems like a tall order. So, yes. That Asian Boy 21. First of all, you've stolen my username. Second of all, you got it in one. I'm here in Indiana, and I've got a Toyota engine. I've actually got 2 Toyota engines in the bed of my Toyota Tundra. It's a big Toyota fest. And I'm here because instead, well, so let's start from the beginning. You guys may be aware of what was revealed in the latest episode of Gears and Gasoline, and it's not a good situation. Not a good situation. Your boy bought a bum motor, and we're getting it fixed here in Indiana. Indiana is the home of Frankenstein Motor Works. Mark, who developed a bunch of this 2GR, 2AR, MR2 stuff. He's a big fan of the platform. Does a lot of work on it. So, yeah, Mark is hooking it up, Tyler. We're going to be filming a bunch of engine rebuild content over the next, like, 3 days. So I booked the hotel until Sunday. So Sunday I'll check out. We'll film presumably the wrap up, and then stick her back in the bed of the truck, and I'm heading back down to Indiana. So the refund Solid Snake is pending. I'm not holding my breath. There's been no development since you guys saw that video. The shop is not intent on not the shop. The junkyard is not making any effort. But yeah, I'm gonna keep annoying them. So we'll see. What's up, Graham? Yes, it is. It's a very luxurious bed frame. Wish you were here to check it out in person. Speaking of which, we've stayed in so many hotels in the history of Gears and Gasoline. Like, I think I've probably stayed in, I was kind of like doing the math, right? So the average Gears and Gasoline road trip is 2 to 3 weeks. So that's 14 to 21 days. And then we're staying in hotels every single one of those nights. So I probably stay in, on average, like 18 hotels per road trip. We've done 10 road trips or 9 road trips. If it was 10, that would be 180 hotels. So I think it's 9, so subtract that. So that's 182 hotels. And then that's just on the road trips. So over the course of my Gears and Gasoline tenure, it's gotta be like 400 hotels probably I've stayed in, something like that. And we've developed a ritual, which is we always check for bed bugs, because one time we did find them, and it was very gross. It was on the RX-7 road trip. So for the last like 5 years, I've religiously checked every bed I stay in for bed bugs when I'm in a hotel. And this is not the nicest hotel, so I will be checking that. UV light, I don't even want to know, brother. I don't even want to know. I wouldn't even dare to turn it on. What's up, Joshi Roku? Good to see you, bud. Unk, thanks, dude. Main profession is YouTube. Main profession is Gears and Gasoline. We've been doing it full time since 2015. Sleep on a trash bag? Probably not. Probably not gonna do that. Ben will be on. Ben will be on for a little bit here in a little while. I assume he's watching. He's not here, but we'll do a little video call. Yeah. no, UV light would just, I just wouldn't be able to stay anywhere. Like I wouldn't even want to turn on a UV light in like the hallway of a hotel or the parking lot of a hotel. Everything would glow. Thanks again, Unc. Appreciate it, man. I think that if always in the back of my mind, I've had the idea that if something happened and Gears Gasoline sank, right? Like let's say YouTube went out of business, you know, a likely scenario. I could always pivot and just go be a video producer somewhere. Yeah, that's right, Solid Snake. I myself would glow. I've been dipped in the stuff by my ankle like Achilles. The only part of my one weak spot is my ankle, because that's the one part that doesn't glow under a UV light or a black light or whatever. Yeah, so we're here in Indiana, and it's gonna be a work trip. We're gonna just try and be as productive as it gets. Wow, that is so on brand, Mac Daddy. Yeah, we got 3 days essentially to just knock out as much 2GR rebuilding as possible. You guys are here on the live stream, so I'll give you the sneak peek. The original idea was I wanted to just get a junkyard sealed low mileage Toyota engine, right? 2GR. Heads never come off, you know, just like the motor's buttoned up like it was from the factory from Toyota. And the intention with that was to eliminate the variables, right? So any you know, we're swapping a V6 into an MR2, which is like a bad idea for a swap, right? Like there's going to be a lot of complications. There's going to be a lot of stuff to go wrong. So I wanted to make sure that we were able to eliminate the engine as a variable and not like open the motor up. So that was why I was very hesitant to just like roll up my sleeves and say, okay, well, let's just start getting in there when I found out that the engine was bad, or that we didn't pass a leak down test. And Tomato Bomb, thank you. Yeah, so now what I've decided is let's just go ahead and just do everything that I was going to do later on now, which is high compression FXE pistons. I'm going to try and put baffles in the oil pan, just like make as much power as we really want to out of this engine, kind of like first go. We'll still have a few things left on the table that we can do, but you know, having Mark here to do all this stuff, Mark with a C, makes me feel a lot more confident that, you know, it'll be done as good as it can be. So are we gonna go to any car shows this year? We're not really car show guys, to be honest. Like we kind of got ruined by going to the racetrack. Used to film a lot of car shows back in the day, like 2015 through 2017, I would say. We went to Springfest in Virginia Beach, stuff like that, and yeah, Boxer Fest. We filmed a lot of car shows like that, but not for years and years. It's not really my preferred scene. I just kind of like want to go to the racetrack and cost myself a lot of money. Yeah, the FXE pistons, you know, there's like, obviously all this stuff, you know, there's caveats and whatnot, but if Mark's doing it, like he knows more about these Toyota engines than just about anyone except people that actually built them at Toyota. So, yeah. Hey Sean, collab on Evo content. I really want to get my Evo back out on track this year. Like I was just thinking about that. I was editing a YouTube short that was going over all the things I've broken on my Evo over the years, and it just honestly, like, as depressing as it was to watch, it just made me want to track the car really bad. So yeah, I would say that we would definitely be collabing on content if you didn't live in Minnesota, I want to say it is, and I lived in Virginia. It makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, you do need at least 2 Evos at any given event in order for 1 Evo to run. That is true. We track days, we were never signed up to go to South Carolina for Grid Life. The only 2 Grid Life events that we're gonna go to are Lime Rock, and we're gearing up for Road Atlanta. Really want to drive that track. Let me see if I can, what the process looks like to try and pull this thing up. Where did I export this to?
I've spent...
Let's see, that's probably pretty loud. Okay. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's give this a shot.
Thousands of dollars over the years fixing my Evo 9. I bought it after it had been in a wreck, but the car was fully stock, and once I fixed it up, very reliable. But things started breaking when I took the car to the racetrack. I broke my first SE front lip flying off the track at Virginia International Raceway. My 4G63 starved of engine oil on a hot lap of VIR and a wrist pin seized.
This one's stuck.
I cut an Advan GT in half when my Brembo brake caliper contacted the inner barrel of the wheel. I broke 4th gear in my OEM 6-speed and had it replaced with a beefed up 6-speed. I broke another SE front lip driving...
Yeah, double audio. Let me see. Yeah, that's been a wonderful time, honestly. Like, editing back through this, I was just filled with nostalgia for all the things that I've broken so far. Through deep snow in the Yukon on our way to Alaska. I broke my ABS sensor going off track and then locked up my tires, breaking another SE front lip. At that same event, I broke another 4th gear. I broke yet another SE front lip going off track at Mid-Ohio. My HKS turbo ate itself at Lime Rock. Then a nut in my OEM turbo destroyed the compressor wheel. My brakes failed at Gingerman Raceway and I broke another front lip. And I can't wait to go back to the racetrack again with my favorite car ever. Even though yes, I'm back. Okay, yeah, so I've broken, I think, 6 front lips in total. The first one was, this guy. Yeah, that was a fun off. I've never been, oh, Bricky B is here. Say hello to the mod, everybody. Bricky B, hello. I've never been so close to absolutely destroying my car on track as I was right here. That was a close one for sure. Let me see. I broke the second front lip. I think on our first road trip from Florida to Alaska. And then, yeah, I broke one again. No, I broke two on this trip. Yeah, just a lot of broken front lips. It's been a great time. I love that car. Yeah. Do you wanna see if Ben wants to hop on a call really quick? Let me see if I can get him. Let me see if he answers. We've thought about doing overlanding stuff. People have asked us in the past, but it's very expensive as an entry level point to build an overlanding rig to begin with. And I think that with us having built our channel kind of around performance cars, I don't know how much interest there would be. But as far as like content, it's a great vehicle for content. There are guys already that do overlanding road trips, kind of similar to ours. Obviously, they're just overlanding. I can't remember what the channel is called, but yeah, I've seen some guys doing that. Let me see. Can I get Ben? Oh, hello.
What I show in the background here, I've got some new car purchases over here.
There we go. I don't even need to be here. Hold on. Let me just get rid of myself for a second.
Got the computer here so I can check the chat. Actually,
There you go.
My audio. I'm just coming through the regular iPhone.
Oh yeah, I think you're fine. Talk?
There's a lot of echo in the garage. I meant to put up sound panels in here when we first built it, but then I never got around to it.
Can you kind of frame yourself up? Yes.
This way?
Yeah, like that. A little bit more.
Holy cow! Is it really our anniversary this Saturday? We have.
Oh yeah, it is in April.
Oh my gosh! I don't know what day exactly, but wow.
Thanks, Marcus. Yeah, we I think both forgot.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. 10 years. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's insane.
Huh. Oh well. Cheers.
Yeah, it's good to know that we're basically exactly the same guys we were when we started doing it.
Yeah, the exact same.
Not out of touch at all.
I mean, I still have the same car. So.
That's true. We can't see it, but
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah. Again, gotta be careful. There's another car in here.
Is that the? Thanks, Dak.
For this Saturday video.
Is that the the muscle car that you bought, the Escort?
The Muscle Escort, yeah. The
Yeah.
V8 swap Escort, yeah. Yeah, but they
Rear-wheel
can't
drive swap.
Yeah. Actually, that exists. Like 15 or 20 years ago, I remember when I first started looking up like modifications for an Escort, and I like trying to find like who's got the craziest thing out there. And yeah, sure enough, there's like an LS swapped with like slicks and a solid rear axle, rear end, like not really an Escort anymore, like a frame swapped, whatever. Yep, it's out there somewhere.
Yeah, some Dak is suggesting that you do a B58 swap in it. In your Escort. I think that would be ideal.
Yeah, I would like to do some Euro stuff, but I'm still too scared.
The hot ticket right now is the 07K 5-cylinder.
I have been seeing that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could always do that.
Yeah, but I mean, when a K series is so much easier and cheaper.
That's true.
Actually,
yeah, people are clamoring for K series.
I just posted on Instagram the Challenger, which if you haven't been near a Challenger in person, they're absolutely massive.
Who hasn't been near a It's not a. It's not
well,
like a.
but like up and close. I mean, you see them on the road, but like standing next to one, you're like, dude, what the heck? This thing is like scaled up.
I think there's one in like every Wingstop parking lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, get up real close to it, and you could probably fit 3 K series engines in one. I think you could actually do it.
Let's see, what would that make? That would be a straight 12.
Straight 12, making 750 horsepower to the wheels. Actually, if you could figure out 4, you'd have to put 2 in the back somehow. You could have 1 power each wheel. That would be pretty cool. We don't have enough money, man. I want to do these things, but I don't have $500,000 to figure that out.
You want to do that?
That'd be cool if I had the money to.
That's a burning desire of yours to do a three engine Challenger?
Like when you have these thoughts of like, wow, wouldn't it be cool that you could do, fill in the blank here? It would be cool to actually just do it, to see, just do it.
I guess.
I'm gonna put out a feeler here to the chat. So a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago, I wanted to buy a Formula car, a Formula 4 specifically. Look at that, hit auto thumbs up. They come with K series in them, the K20C, not turbo.
Hey, can you tilt your camera up again?
Sorry, I scooted up. On my phone, I'm like chopped off, so it's weird. But yeah, so they make like 170 crank horsepower, but they weigh like absolutely nothing because it's a miniature Formula 1 car. It's just all downscaled. I want to buy one of those and like put a turbo on it, put some bigger tires on it, and just make it stupid. Would chat be interested in? Of course, if I asked that, they'd be like, "Yeah, of course I'm interested in that."
Yeah. You're asking people on the internet if they would watch something if you buy it.
Yeah. Of course, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
I wish I could buy everything.
You wish the ultimate consumer. We found him, folks. Capitalism's #1 fan.
Yeah.
Now this guy free markets.
I'm consumer's #1 customer.
Yeah. You've got the punch card and everything.
Oh man. Yeah, is there like a buy 10 cars get 1 free something?
Yeah. So I was it was what, April 1st, like 2 days ago, and I was looking at I think Survival. Viva La Wholesome. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you watching. Hey, he's hoping to see some NSX content, Ben. Can you deliver that for him?
I would love to buy an NSX, Donate, $120,000 in the super chat, and then subtract taxes and whatever YouTube takes out of that.
Don't worry, Ben. I invested my entire net worth in the S&P 500 yesterday. Oh, so yesterday? We'll be just fine, Ben. I think we'll be able to buy whatever we want, just fine. Mm-hmm. Buy low, sell high. That's what they say. I timed the market to perfection.
Yep.
So I was reading about Formula 1 going back to like V10s or V8s. And I was reading about this on April 1st. It was published on April 1st, and I was like, this is so cruel. But then I realized that this has been a conversation for like months that they would potentially do this. So
yeah, I mean, clearly, like, it would get more views if they had V10s in it. I think that's pretty obvious. But also, like, the manufacturers don't want to build these hybrid engines because they're more expensive and complex and stuff. That's the rumors anyway. I'm not a Formula 1 engine supplier, but.
Well, yeah, I don't think that they want to change from V6s when they've been doing V6s for over 10 years now, right? Like,
Yeah, 2026 is still different because they're like more electric. You know, they're
it's
50% electric.
yeah, it's different, but it's not like it's not changing the entire engine layout.
Yeah, but they would definitely get more views if it had V10s. But so supposedly the all of the engine suppliers, or maybe it's all of the teams, have to vote on it in order for it to like become a thing. I don't know. I get all my information from the race YouTube channel.
Dude,
Shout out.
I honestly, let's not shout out to them.
No.
No. Okay. The race drives, I feel like they have good reporting, but they also have a minimum 10-minute length requirement for all their uploads, and they have to upload once a day. And there simply is not that much news. So you wind up getting absolute fluff and just like literally clickbait because they have to upload every day. So like you just see, you know, like occasionally when there's a breaking story or something, you know, you'll see like that.
Yeah, like dropping Liam Lawson for Yuki Tsunoda, you know.
Shout out.
Oh yeah.
Shout out.
Yep. He's gonna become like half of the grid, half of the Formula One grid, who are now
ex-Max teammates. Yeah. Did you hear about
afterward joins Pierre and the romance is back together again.
No, I don't want him to go to Alpine, bro. But yeah, did you see Pierre and Perez both reached out and were like giving him tips and stuff?
My condolences.
Yeah. Hey, so Viva, when he donated, he wanted to know where we see Gears and Gasoline going, or where we would like it to go.
That's a good question. It's definitely changed since when we started, and actually we talked about this like a week or two ago. But like, because initially we used to do like car features on other YouTubers, and went to car shows and stuff. So it was very different then. We've definitely changed more to motorsport stuff and like building our own stuff. Yeah, it's we probably should have more of a direction. I think we're just car guys having fun, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah, I think it's difficult to kind of like have a long-term goal when you're also trying to like keep up with what people want to see. But yeah, like it used to be like, I wanted it to be like, I always described it as like video speed hunters, where we would always go around and like cover builds and like have like a network of video production people that would be able to like film all of car culture and stuff like that. Which I still love, like covering automotive events like races, especially, you know, like stuff like track tests and stuff like that. Like I don't care if I'm in front of camera or whatever. But I definitely don't care about, like somebody earlier was asking about car shows, wouldn't care about filming that kind of stuff. And like I'm just like, I've become judgmental like over the course of building my own cars and like
that comes with age.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I feel like you could learn to be more open-minded, but I like am kind of an elitist for track stuff, I think, where like if somebody hasn't tested their car on the racetrack, I don't really like care about their opinion, which I think is probably not probably pretty narrow-minded.
Yeah, it's easy to be like, well, that's what cars were meant to do. You know, they were meant to perform. They were meant to do what they were built to do. But like, that's also not the full picture. The cars also were meant to be pretty, i.e., the car behind me is just a pretty car. But like, I don't know, and convenient and practical, and you know, there's more to cars. But I know what you mean. Like, I just want to go fast.
Yeah. Nasty Stu, thank you. Nasty Stu is a Evo guy, a fellow Evo guy. I'm really hoping that he caught my Iron Block Man bit at the beginning of the stream. I don't know if you saw that, Ben.
I did not see
that. It was comedy gold. but he said that we should do an autocross season, and I would just say that would make us A, much better drivers, and B, it would be YouTube poison.
Yeah. I've done a couple of autocrosses with this year car back in 2010. I did probably like 4 to 6 of them. That was my entry into motorsports, because it's like, at least at the time, it was $50 to go run, the whole day. But then it's like 6 sessions tops of like 50-60 second sessions, so you got like 6 minutes of seat time to spend the entire day in a parking lot, and you've got to chase cones as well. So it's a great way to get into it, but I think maybe I've gotten also old and bitter, and I just want more seat time. And you go to a track event, and it's like 2 hours of seat time.
Yeah, I mean, for me, 5 minutes of seat time is usually what I get at any given track day anyways, so like I would probably be fine with that. And like, if you want to talk about like the democratization of going to the racetrack, thank you, Mr. Jetta, also, by the way. This kind of like relates to your question about how we got into tracking, because we both started with autocross, as I think a lot of guys do. You talk about like oh, it's so expensive to go to the racetrack. It's like $500 minimum, right?
Yeah.
You're probably spending $1,000 a weekend that you go to an actual racetrack. And then it's like, oh, well, you could spend $50 and go to an autocross. And it's like, oh yeah, nah. Yeah, I mean, that's like, you gotta suck it up a little bit at a certain point, and like, you're not gonna get a lot of seat time, but it is 5 laps of a 1 minute course, so you are getting a really good chance to like learn that course and train your hand-eye coordination, your car control. Like, I think a lot of track guys, like you and I included, are probably relatively precise for the racetrack, but not precise when it comes to the margins of autocross, right? Like, we would probably be leaving inches and inches from us in a cone when you need to be leaving like centimeters,
Or negative inches, because I just hit the cones.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I honestly really...
That just means we're not going fast enough on a racetrack.
Yeah. I mean, I love autocross. I would love to do more autocross. I really just like... So I went and I watched some Power Wheels racing. Pork fried rice, Pock fried rice, and Trevor. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I went and watched Power Wheels racing at this local event recently. And it was like not a car event. It was like a fair that my girlfriend had a pottery booth at. And they have a series that's Power Wheels, which are like the little cars that you put like toddlers in. And they have like extremely low powered electric motors. But in this series, adult men are taking like basically the shell of these cars and putting them on top of, I don't know, maybe like you don't measure batteries and horsepower, but I don't know what like amp hour, that these batteries are, but pretty potent little go-karts essentially is what they had. And they were just racing at this local university. And I was obsessed with it. It was so cool. And I thought initially like, oh, this is like going to be lame compared to like what I'm actually used to, like doing motorsports and stuff. Actually, as it turns out, if you put anything onto a stopwatch and there's any kind of competition, I will be sucked in from the word go. Like, they had qualifying and I was immediately mesmerized. It was so cool.
Have you seen the RC car races where they like lay out a track, and then like the original clip from Lewis Hamilton and his dad where he's like going around with the RC
Oh,
car?
yeah. Yep.
That'd be fun, and also I'm sure very cheap in comparison.
In comparison, yeah, way too expensive for what it is, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to be in it. I think that's my one stipulation, is I want to be in the vehicle that's going fast.
That's fair.
Mr. Jetta, as far as like getting into tracking in Washington, like we started again with autocross and then we went to VIR with NASA. I would say like, I don't know, isn't the Ridge a track in Washington, Ben?
I think so. There's a couple around there. But like you can look up the website of whatever the track is that's closest to you, and they generally have a calendar on the website, and then you can find what organizations are running what events there, and generally it'll be like SSCA or NASA, kind of
Yeah.
the big.
Yeah, I mean that stuff is like the best way to get started. Just do HPDE stuff, and you'll have an instructor, and you're gonna think it's lame that you have to have an instructor because you know how to drive, but actually it turns out you're really slow, and it's super helpful to have an instructor probably. We all had to go
Matthew,
through it.
thank you. Do I have plans for the FL5 or the FD? The FL5, no. I absolutely love it, so I don't want to mess with it. It's my daily driver, so I'm just driving it stock. The FD is currently torn apart because I'm trying to continually upgrade it, but I'm waiting on parts and have been waiting on parts for a couple months now. So,
Pock fried rice. I have plans this weekend, which are me being in Indiana. So unfortunately, I cannot go. But Ben, I don't think has plans this weekend. So Ben, you're gonna have to come up with an excuse.
I always have plans.
Ben's he doesn't work off the clock.
Yeah, I'm a family man. Try to separate that work life.
Trevor asked if we're gonna do any more motorcycle content, because the only thing he ever saw was your R6 on regular car reviews.
When did I sell that? That was a long time ago. I loved that. That was an awesome bike. I love bikes in general, but I don't think the risk versus reward is there for me anymore.
Yeah, Ben's a
That's why I
dad.
stopped.
Yeah, as a married man, it's probably not worth the risk.
Yeah, I mean, as a dad, it's not worth the risk. But like, I don't know. My wife liked it as well. Like I obviously when we were dating and stuff, like I rode it and rode her around with it, and she loved it. So yeah, it was a chick magnet in that sense.
The one chick Ben Thorne cared about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Ducati Monster that I sold in 2023, I think. I think we both just have too many vehicles that we don't have time to drive all of, like let alone have another like a bike, right? And when you take a bike, like I drive my truck everywhere because in case I need to bring something big home from the office or whatever, like that's not necessarily a good reason. I could definitely get away with driving a sedan or something a lot of the time, or my cappuccino. But if you have to take anything anywhere on a motorcycle, you have to plan your whole day around that, because basically the most you can transport is whatever fits in a backpack.
Yeah, okay, honestly, you're reminding me now why I stopped riding it. It wasn't even necessarily that like it was dangerous or anything. I'm one of the very few in the statistic that never wrecked, at least not severely. But
Yeah, I did see you drop your bike.
I've like dropped it once or twice. I know I dropped it once in the garage, and then I dropped it once coming up to a red light. I like turned at the last second. But like nothing severe. I drink coffee every morning, and it was like, oh, I could ride my bike into the office, or I could drive my car and get coffee on the way. So I just generally drove the car. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I shouldn't really have this bike. I'm not gonna ride it.
Yeah, I mean, it like literally is stuff like that. It's like me planning my day out, and it's like, okay, I could drive the S2000 into the office today, and then I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'd have to like go and get it out of the garage, and the truck's just ready to go, and then if I needed to like put anything in the bed or whatever, I don't know. It's like it literally, it sounds like stupid and lazy to say, like when you're just hearing about it, but like if you think about how you kind of like live your day to day, you just wind up going with the flow on stuff. And yeah, it's easiest to just, take the most convenient thing.
The fewer decisions you have to make. Like, you probably heard of the people who are like, I only have like black t-shirts in my wardrobe, and that way I don't have to like decide what shirt to wear, so that I can use my mental focus on the grind or whatever. But like, the less decisions you have to take.
I hope that's not how I sound right now trying to explain this, because
Oh, no.
what you just described to me is the most moronic thing. I don't think I could have come up with something that stupid if I had tried to think of something.
You haven't heard of people say that?
No, I just see people dunk their face in ice water and wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's like the thing right now.
Nasty Stew, I've not thought about putting a 4G63 in an MR2. I actually specifically do not want this car to be turbo, at least not for a long time, because turbo track cars cause a lot of problems. If they're not like just factory, right? If it's not like I mean, my Evo when it was stock was fine, right? Like if you took like a
like the intercooler piping.
Nope, never did until I started modding it, and then I took it off, and then that kind of like ruined the seal. Like your CTR, right? It's stock, so there's no problems. But as soon as you start upping the boost or whatever, oh, I have blow by, or
The boost is up a little, but it's a Honda. So
yeah. No. I don't mean like a cute little tune, like a big turbo or something like that.
50 more horsepower. Come on now.
Yeah, well, so I was tracking the Evo with a tune, that was making like 330 or whatever, right? But yeah, I want something naturally aspirated that I don't have to worry so much about. And 4G63s.
2025 is the year of displacement for the Gears and Gasoline boys.
That's right. That's a spoiler you guys are hearing. You heard it here first. Ben bought an 8.4 liter Dodge Viper.
Man.
If only.
How much are those? They're like $30K for a first gen?
Yeah, roughly. 20 to 30, depending on condition.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I could show the engine, because it's not, the vehicle I purchased doesn't, I guess that's a spoiler in itself.
I mean, people will know what you bought.
Do you think it's covered? I have it in a black bag right now. So
yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is hype. Guys, this is a world exclusive.
This is just for the live stream, 2 days early. 384 people are going to see this. 385.
What's it going to be, chat? All right, I'm starting a poll. Is it going to be a Viper, a V10 Viper, or is it going to be the Cadillac, the like C6 Cadillac?
Oh man, it won't fit. Taking it over there. Oh, I guess I could bring the phone to me. I just realized that this phone is mobile.
I thought you were leaving it where it was so you didn't accidentally show any spoilers.
I was gonna roll it over, but yeah, I mean you might see an accidental spoiler, but
there you go. Oh, what does it look like? What engine is that, guys? Enhance.
A little bit of three-dimensional. There we go. Yep. Definitely a V8. It's a big boy. That's all you're gonna get. What do we think it is? People out here guessing 6-cylinder engines. What? Dude, I don't know why I didn't think about like the freaking J32 in an Acura as like it's not a K series in a Honda. Oh man. Or the C30 in the NSX.
Yeah, that would have been a beautiful loophole.
And then everybody would have unsubscribed because they'd be like, seriously?
You know what I just realized is that Cadillac, do you know what I'm talking about? The like C6 Cadillac?
C6 Cadillac.
Yeah. The Cadillac like two-door coupe that came out like the same time as the C6.
Oh, yeah.
Had the North Star engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like ultra boxy. So it was called the XLR, Chad is saying, which is hilarious to think about, right? Like, oh yeah, this is my Mazda HDMI. This is my Ford USB-C.
I guess XLR has been out for a long time, but different industries. I mean, Ford made a car called the Probe. Like,
Yeah, that's true. It's just funny that it's the only thing. If you said XLR, the only thing I'm going to think about is a cable. Mark's in here saying that I didn't know about the Cadillac CTS-V. Bro, I was talking about the XLR. You know all about the Cadillac XLR, Mark? He's backseating me from the frickin' Bahamas. This guy sucks. This guy sucks.
This guy, yeah.
Vacation has only made him meaner.
He's on his cruise ship drinking bourbon right now, just like.
Yeah. I said, what do you mean? The XLR is like,
yeah.
yeah, the XLR is built on it's built on a C6 chassis, I think.
I don't know how to spell Cadillac.
Yeah, Mark's he's on a cruise right now. We gave him a vacation, which I'm regretting.
They did 2003 until 2011, so they did based on both the C5 and the C6.
Really? They had a 2003?
03, yeah. They only made 875 in 03.
What? They made it
Actually,
that
the
long?
biggest year was 05.
That's insane, dude.
Oh, base price was 100K.
Yeah, no, base price was 75, which is 125,000 in in 2024 dollars.
Okay, well, my Wikipedia source is saying 97K, which is equivalent to 152.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the XLR-V. Sorry.
No.
XLR.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's a high performance variant of the XLR.
I mean, the non-V, like the base was 125, like in 2024 dollars, according to Wikipedia. So, can you imagine paying that much for a North Star V8?
Oh man, I mean, but that's hindsight. Like the RX-8 was 35 grand brand new, and that was roughly the same as a nice trim S2000.
Yeah.
Now with context,
Right. But you didn't know that back then. You didn't know. It's hard to know which one's going to become a classic and which one's going to be,
right. So you're a boomer and you're like, yeah, I want a Corvette, but I'm a little too old for it. I want some amenities, the XLR.
I mean, just about every new car that comes out could be great, right? Like it takes time to form an opinion on a car, so anything that's new seems good. Right? Like, what is like I mean, except for the Hyundai, like, what, the i6 or whatever that their hybrid thing is? Like, new cars. New sports cars.
We're a car channel Googling new sports cars.
Well, I'm just trying to get like a snapshot of the industry, right? So, like a C8 Corvette. Cool. Right? Probably own one. GR Supra. Cool. Yeah, probably own one. 911 Z4, a new Z4. Those things are kind of sick, right? It's a Supra. Yeah. GR86, sick.
400Z.
Yeah, what don't call it a 400Z, but whatever it's actually called. You know, but like some of these cars are going to age well, and some of these cars people are going to look back on in 15 years and be like, what the hell were people thinking? Why did somebody buy this?
Yeah.
And it's hard to know, right? Like the M2 came out, right? I think the second gen M2 is like one of the few examples where it's a new car and we're kind of like, actually this sucks. You know, like I've already developed an opinion, and even though it's new, I'm going to go ahead and say that this sucks compared to the first gen, right?
Yeah. Oh, Jake here has a good point with the new charger, the electric charger.
Yeah, sure, but that's yeah, I mean, I guess people are biased against it because it's electric, but I'm biased against it because it is ugly and heavy.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. The Challenger I posted today was 4,000 pounds, but that thing, actually, I don't know how much it weighs.
Yeah, so like somebody's saying, like Track Day said Pontiac Aztec, right? Okay, so teleport back to like 2003 or whenever the Aztec came out. Did everybody feel the same way about it that they did when Breaking Bad came out? Like, had we developed everything that's new feels shiny, right? It's hard to poo-poo something that's new because it's easy to be excited about it.
PT Cruiser, Chevy SS.
Yeah, people dug the PT Cruiser.
Only old people did.
No. The PT Cruiser won awards for design the year it came out. Because it was the retro.
Awards. That's like JD Power. Like you just pay for whatever, you know. I don't know. Like these new Jags are probably going to win awards. Have you seen these new the Jaguar brand change?
I've seen the new logo. I haven't seen any new cars from them.
You should Google the new Jaguar. Just type it in real quick and take a gander.
New Jaguar.
And let me know in the comments.
Okay, I mean, but that doesn't exist, bro. That's just a concept.
Concept for now, yeah.
Hold on. Let me Are you watching the stream?
Yeah. Oh, I see your. Yep. There might be a little lag, but the Type 00, Type 00.
This?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a fully functional car. I've seen shots of it like in New York City and stuff. It's not just renders, but.
Can you talk real quick?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is not a real thing though. This is meaningless.
It's like the FT1 where it's like, yeah, it's not a real car.
Yeah, but the FT1 actually wound up becoming like kind of like a car that they actually made, you know? They're not going to make anything like this.
A lot of people were mad because they saw the FT1 and they're like, that's sick. And then when the GR was announced, they were like, oh man, they made it like ugly. But then people came around.
Well, no, I don't think people came around. I think people just had their expectations eventually adjusted. You can't stay mad about something for forever. The FT1 is an objectively better looking car. They shortened it and squeezed it because they were building it on the Z4 chassis. So it had to fit those dimensions. It couldn't be as big as it was when it was a concept. But this Jag is vaporware. Like companies do this where they come out with concepts to make people interested in the brand again. Doesn't mean that they actually have to make it, right? Like what was that Chrysler supercar?
I don't know. I mean, just about every year I see like the Mazda
this thing
RX-9 is coming out, and it's a
this
different
thing.
render every time.
You know about this?
No, it's like an R8.
Yeah, it was the Chrysler. What is it? The ME 412 concept. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be their Enzo. This was like an early 2000s concept, and it might be different from these others in that I think they actually had some test mules that like existed, right? Yeah. They actually drove. They just didn't necessarily have the engine in it or whatever. But yeah, I'm not taking this Jag thing seriously at all.
Nasty Stew, looking up XLRs. They're currently 28,000. I thought they were cheaper than that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's
10,000. That's like a mint condition one, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know who wants that car. I think anyone that wants a Cadillac SLR like died of COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I say, what's the luxury version of a Corvette today? It's still the CTSV or the CT4V.
I think the luxury version of a Corvette is just a Corvette.
They're still like, I gotta slouch down to get into the seat and stuff.
Yeah, but that's what this car is.
I don't know, man. If I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna go for a CTSV over a Corvette.
Yeah, I know, but then the XLR wouldn't be in the conversation either.
I don't know. I don't know what the comfort of an XLR is.
But
I've never sat in one.
It's still low. That's your point. Like new Corvettes are very plush.
Yeah.
Like much more comfortable than an old XLR. I'm just saying that like if it's a mobility thing, the XLR doesn't solve any of your problems. Plus, it's not luxurious anymore. It probably doesn't even have a freaking Bluetooth. It definitely doesn't.
The CarPlay in that.
Yeah.
How do we get to talking about Cadillacs?
I don't know. I think that this is just kind of like inevitably where if we get on a podcast together or something, this is what we wind up talking about is just cars. But it's probably for the best. I don't really know what else to talk about.
Yeah.
Huh?
Let's prompt some questions here in the chat.
I don't know. What 2000s car should we talk about next?
2000s? What's your favorite 2000s car? From like what, 2000 to 2009?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like probably up top 5 for me is a Terminator.
Yeah.
I love Terminator New Edge Mustangs.
I think they aged pretty well from the outside, but not the inside.
The inside is such utter trash. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was on
Liver axle.
Yeah. I mean, so this is it, right? Like, this is a snapshot. If you ever wondered how, like, old dudes, like, why they are just, like, still talking about a Chevelle, right, from, like, the 1960s, this is going to be us in 20 years, right? We're going to be talking about, oh, dang, I saw somebody said a VW R32 Golf, right? Still going to be talking about it, right? We are unfortunately freeze-framed in the 2010s when the only cars that like we could potentially afford were cars that came out in like the 2000s, and they're all imports.
Well, 2000s, because like the RX-7, I feel like like that's my 70s Challenger,
Yeah, right. Yeah, like cars that came out a little bit before we had the ability to buy cars. Yeah,
for sure.
And it sucks that we are old and we are like this is how you start losing touch, because kids.
Can we start talking about the classic car channel yet?
Yeah, give it 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just watching a podcast from another YouTuber that was talking about how, like when they started, the target audience of their channel was like 16 years old, but they've been doing it for years, and so the target audience moves with them. And our analytics would say that that's probably the case as well. Like, our audience has kind of grown with us because obviously our direction and attention changed from car shows to track events and stuff. And our audience would generally follow that because they're aging as well. I don't know how true that is. But.
Well, if you wanted, like, what cars are young people into now? Probably
young people. Here, couple old guys here. Let's talk about what young people are into.
Well, no, I'm just trying to think. So, like, if you wanted to appeal to young car enthusiasts, what are young car enthusiasts into?
Well, 350Zs, I think, are there still, even though those are kind of old cars.
350Zs is your answer?
BRZs. There's a lot of cars. 350Zs, BRZs, Mustangs. Corvettes, Hellcats. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Hmm. We need to
G35, yeah.
we need to talk to Luke about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, fellow young person, come over here.
He's our touchstone,
Yeah.
our last remaining touchstone.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Are you texting him? What car are you into right now?
No,
You'd
I'm
say the
calling him.
opposite. Yeah.
Hey.
You call him on the phone with me? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, multiple phones over there.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. What's up?
What cars are young people into?
Cars young people are into nowadays. What I see in at least my friends is lots of GR86s. I find the Corolla platform to be quite common to be amongst the young ones, and then also the Infiniti G series has gotten more popular since the 350Zs kind of became taxed out of Infiniti. Also, I seem to think like the BMWs, but it's like people who like buy them with hyper APRs seem to just love buying like G80s and then flexing them on like the internet. And then lastly, the biggest one I'd probably say is like the GR86s. Those are like insanely popular amongst people that I know.
Okay. All right. Well. Yeah, you're on stream, by the way.
I know. I saw you guys were streaming earlier, and
Yeah.
I was gonna hop in.
He's like, oh, yeah, he's gonna call me.
I was gonna be stupid in the chat, but then I realized there are thousands of people watching, and I realized all my words are being recorded. So.
Yeah. Gay Obama be like.
Oh.
No.
What was the bit? What was it? Oh yeah, Cow Obama be like, let me be Skeeter. Anyways, please hang up the phone before I make another mistake.
Thank you for your insight into the youth of today.
You're welcome, man. Have a great night.
All right. Bye. Oh man. That was
So I'm pretty in touch, you know.
You are, bro. Okay, so I guess we should just get a GR86.
GR86 and a 350Z. You can get your third 350Z.
Yeah.
Or we can just keep making content tailored towards our age demographic and keep our audience who are also growing with us.
But I don't know. I think that our audience might still be into like a GR. I think that is something that's not exclusively hitting young people.
I'm still into a GR. I think GRs are cool.
Yeah.
Especially with their K-swap in it. They make kits.
I didn't Andy Smenegard elect not to K-swap it because the 2.4 is so good?
Yeah, I think he just got bored.
Bored of what?
I don't know. I saw him take an FA20 out of a GR86. I don't know what he put in after that, but I did see him take one out.
I think he put it back in. I think he took a GR 2.4 and put it into a GT86.
Yeah, I mean, but the first gen, the FA20 or whatever, is not good.
No.
But the
But
24 is.
yeah, but
Now you're looking at like a $30,000 car.
right.
What you could get for 30 grand, I wouldn't go for a GR.
Well, what views can you get for 30 grand? This is the question. Because it sounds like you buy a GR and you get people watching. And
We're gonna find out, Ben, because what I purchased, what'll be revealed this Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure your notification bell is turned on. Was less than 30,000.
that's true, significantly less.
But if
Yeah.
it gets 2 views, then I think you've proved your point.
No. I'm not saying that. I think this will do very well. I think that the car that you have bought is going to do very well. But I'm just saying, from the mouth of babes, but by which I'm referring to Luke,
Yeah.
it would seem that the youth of today would be interested in the GR86.
I think the youth of today are also interested in it's literally like 3 feet from me over here on the right.
Yeah.
It's so hard not to and just show it. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I think people of all ages will like it. But I don't know how this turned into like a work meeting.
I don't know. I don't think that you and I can talk about anything. Well, so I was trying to talk to you about 2000s cars, and then somehow this turned into us planning our next purchase for the channel. Nico, Kevin, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You're right. The Cobra is independent rear suspension. The Cobra is also crazy expensive. So that Mystic Chrome one that I looked at, those go for like $40,000.
Yeah.
For a 2004 Mustang.
Yeah. And it's like hilarious to think that it's like, oh well, it's got a blower on it. And it's like,
yeah, but it makes $390. It's like my Honda Civic basically makes that.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely a quick car for sure still, but like the thought of spending that much extra money for a car because it's got ancient independent rear suspension and a blower on a 4.6 liter. It's like, no.
It's cool. Don't get me wrong,
it is cool.
And I get it from like a collector's. I mean, friggin' RX-7s are worth that, you know, like and they don't perform well either. So
yeah, my toxic trait is thinking that like when people are like, oh, why would I pay for an Evo when I could just get a Mirage and do all the things that make an Evo, and it's like, well, because that's a horrible idea. And then I turn around and I'm like, why would I get a Terminator when I could just get a crappy New Edge GT and then just swap stuff in and make it a Terminator? It's a bad idea. But C5.
Why would I get a Cobra when I can buy an MR2 and blow it up a bunch of times?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never blown up the MR2.
That's true. No, you haven't. Yeah,
I've
it
never.
Just feels like you have.
I know.
I don't know. Because just give off that vibe.
It's well, it's because I blow up so much other stuff. Kevin, I almost bought a C6 earlier this week. Andy Smetagard was selling one, and it was a Z51, otherwise like base or whatever. I did not wind up buying it, but I was pretty close. I would love my mouth was watering at the thought of a reliable car that I could take to the racetrack.
If all we cared about was actual dollar to performance, we would only ever own C6 Corvettes.
Yeah. Essentially that, or just like stock cars, right? Like Miatas.
Yeah.
Miata
for autocross and a C6 for the track.
Yeah. Yeah, I would actually love that. Oh, F1 practice at Suzuka. What time is that?
It's at 10:30 tonight.
It's at 10:30. I will be watching it. Yeah. I cannot wait to see how my boy does.
Just practice. Still early dawn. Still early days.
Early doors. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it, bro. That is very kind of you to say.
Dude, like a couple years ago, I was like, man, I should take like an improv class, because I feel like I'm not quick-witted enough, you know? I don't know how to take an improv.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might help. It might also make you like insanely annoying, because improv people are really annoying.
Yeah. You gotta do it right.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on like your energy level too. Like I came into this very low energy. I'm so glad you're here, because me trying to carry it by myself was not going well.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, that's why like our road trips work, because we can play off each other a bit. But like watching, I don't know if you've been seeing some of the Kimi Antonelli and like Oliver Behrman and stuff. Just them being them. Like Kimi Antonelli talked about how he like stole some guy's credit card and like did a bunch of like his trainer's credit card or something, and like bought a bunch of stuff and sent it to his door and didn't tell him about it until like all the stuff showed up at his door. And it's like, why are you telling the press this? And everybody's just like, please never PR train Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, well, but that's why, bro. Like that kind of thing is probably PR trained into them. It's like, oh, is this a relatively sanitary anecdote that can make you seem more personable to the audience?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Autobahn.
think about Norris talking about Amsterdam, and that was
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Yeah, there's a clip where like his like PR guy, like person, was like pulling him away from the mic, because it was like no. You're saying the wrong things. If you just type in Lando Norris Amsterdam, you'll see. I think it was 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so like actually, like now that we're talking about it, Autobahn, like I am kind of thinking about like I could just get an SN97, like a new Edge, and just do a Terminator bumper swap.
Yeah.
And just put whatever engine I want in there, and it would probably be like, I would probably like really dig it. I would still have the interior. Like I think a 2000s Ford, like I'm thinking specifically about the Mustang in this case. I would love to gut the interior just so that I don't have to look at the interior. Like
just a trip. Yeah. I understand.
That's what you did to your Escort, essentially. Like
Dude. Yeah, the Escort interior though. I mean, I haven't looked at it in a long time because I don't have one anymore. But like that era of Ford specifically, but like all cars of the early '90s, they're like, I can make it round now. We figured out how to make airbags round, so they just made everything round.
I don't know that that's. I mean, yeah, kinda, but like your FD interior has other problems, but is totally fine to look at in this day and age, right? Incredibly brittle. Like the Supra.
It's still all round.
It is round, like the curved plastics and all that, but I don't think that it's like the new Edge Mustang pains me. It looks like Fisher Price. Do you know what I mean? Like the same amount of thought process went into them designing that as you would put into a children's toy. Thank you, Cooper. We're just chugging along with the live streams. I'm just gonna keep making them until Ben forces me to stop because no one's watching them anymore. But I'm even though I'm in Indiana, I decided that I know that these latest live streams have been pretty like light on content. It's just been me sitting in front of a computer talking, but we're gonna have stuff to have in live streams soon. And I want to make content on live streams where we're working on cars. It's just I've been busy with other stuff and unable to do that lately. But
going back to the new Edge Mustang, that Cobra, the Mystic Chrome, Cobra, which is different than Misty Chrome. Which
is it?
The SN5s, yeah, they're different color. So, like the '98 whatever they're called Misty Chrome, and it got like a copper pearl in it, and then the Mystic Chrome doesn't have the copper pearl in it. They look the same unless you like shine light on. It's pretty hard to tell the difference, but. Obviously, like my friend Steve had both of them there, so I could look at both of them and you could kind of tell. But the interior of those cars, at least of the Mystic Chrome, the new Edge one, also had color shift seats, and you can go back to the reel that I posted as well on Gears and Gasoline, and you can see it. The center insert of the seat is purple and green, and it shifts with the light change. It's nuts. The dashboard does it a little as well, but you can't see that in the video as much. But the center insert part of the seat, all the way up the back and down the bottom, also is like that purple color shift color.
That's insane.
Nuts, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Kelby, we're not going to be at Midwest Fest. We're going to be at Lime Rock and Road Atlanta. No 12-hour drive to Michigan for us this year. Just a 9-hour drive to Indiana for me. So when I was like 19 or 20, I bought a Mazda Speed 6 and I joined the Mazda Speed forums. And a dude in the Mazda Speed forums was looking at a Terminator Mustang that was located near where we live. And he asked if anybody could go and test drive it for him. And I volunteered. And I went out and I checked it out. Big fan of Terminators at the time. This was a Mystic Chrome car, Mystic Chrome, because it was like a 0304. I was so impressed with it, and then we got into it, and I was like, what the hell is this interior? What am I looking at? Like, it literally, the interior was the deal breaker for me. They're so trash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Mustang that ruled my high school parking lot, though.
Somebody had a Terminator? Oh, you went to like a rich high school.
Yeah, well, yeah, I say ruled it, but that was the newest Mustang at the time, when I was in high school. But yeah, I had a
When were
friend
you
that
in
had a
high school?
06 to 2010.
Okay, so it should have been S197s.
The new facelift or redesign for the old, I don't know what that generation is called. That was like brand.
Yeah, that's a S197.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what filled the parking lot was New Edge Mustangs. We did have, I mean, yeah, I went to public school, but in a rich area. So, like the governor's kid went to the same school, and there was a kid that had a brand new BMW M6. There was a kid that had an F650 truck, which is also like the same price as a BMW M6. There was a kid that had a brand new 370Z, which had also just come out. Yeah, I think those are the most expensive cars in the lot. Yeah. For high school.
Yeah. So you know my buddy Shane?
Mm-hmm.
So I made friends with Shane because he bought a Mazda 3, a first gen, and he put the most gaudy Enki wheels you've ever seen on it. And I struck up a conversation with him in class because I saw the wheels on his Mazda 3. And we're best friends to this day.
That's like the American dream version of the car enthusiast guy's dream. Like, that's like the true way to make car friends, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you see someone at a gas station, you're like, dude, I love that front lip. And, you know, then you become friends.
I love that front lip.
I don't know, I'm just picking a random.
Dude, I love your lips, bro.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, also your skirt. Your side skirt.
Your side skirt. Yeah, if you could stop sexually harassing Jeremy, that would be great.
Oh, gosh.
Someone has typed in all caps, revert the Escort to stock.
Yeah, I see that. You could just buy a stock one.
Why would you do that? Revert the Escort to stock.
Yeah. We've gone to Tail of the Dragon so many times. Rental not.
Yeah, we have. We were just there last year for the S2000. Yeah, we were there in November. S2000 and FL5.
Which was probably the most enjoyable time, at least that I've had on the Dragon. The first time we went, I was in the EK, which was like Type R converted. That was a lot of fun, but it didn't have power steering, so that kind of put a literal damper on things. And then we went with the stance cars, which was by far the worst experience.
Yeah, that was terrible. The Jetta almost caught on fire. Because
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, when you boost it, it would just kind of like vacate oil out of the engine. And then I think you like almost crashed the TSX because it had so little lateral grip.
It was so bad. Yeah. You could get the tires to squeal like with no effort at all. Yeah. Financial advice in Auto Channel.
Who's giving financial advice? All I said was that if you had a time machine, go to April 2nd and invest all of your money in the S&P 500. That's not financial advice.
Yeah.
Let's say that you were able to find the DeLorean from Back to the Future, and take it to 88 miles per hour and travel back in time one day to yesterday. You could invest all of your money in the S&P 500, buy low, and then you're welcome. You're a billionaire.
Yeah, you could invest into every single car manufacturer's stock. Yesterday. Yep.
Let's say you find yourself in a Groundhog Day situation, and you wake up and it is inauguration day, right? take all your money, invest in Tesla immediately. Okay? You're welcome.
Yeah.
I've pretty much exhausted my bad financial advice.
Do you remember? There's like a '90s show called Early Edition.
Is it like news?
It's based on that. It's so old that it's based on this guy who got tomorrow's newspaper.
I've never heard of this.
Dude, it's a good. I mean, I'm remembering. I watched it like 15 years ago, so maybe my memory is skewed. But I remember it being good.
You also have bad taste in TV, I want to say.
That is true. That's true. It's based in Chicago. It's like one of the few shows I know of that's even based in Chicago. But yeah, this guy just gets tomorrow's newspaper. And so, like, at first he starts, like, buying stocks that he knows are going to go up because he sees where they go. So, like, he can make money pretty easily. But it's not Groundhog Day where it's on repeat. Like, he keeps going day to day. But then it turns into, like, he looks at the obituaries and sees, like, these people that died or whatever and, like, goes and tries to prevent them from happening. Like, people that die from, like, getting hit by a bus and stuff. And he'll go out and, like, figure out how to, like, I don't know. It was an interesting concept. But
it is. I've never heard of this show in my life.
Yeah, I don't think it was super popular. Yeah.
I mean, okay, so Bricky B knows what you're talking about.
There you go. 96. Man, I'm old. Oh, man. Kyle Chandler. That was the main guy. Or Gary Hobson. Wait, I don't even know which. One of those is the actor's name and one of those is the character's name. Kyle Chandler's the actor's name. Yeah. I don't think he did anything else of that scale. That's like what I remember him.
Who is it?
Oh no, he was in Anatomy later. Interesting. That's big.
Kyle Chandler? I don't know him.
Yeah.
I know Kyle MacLachlan. Are you talking about Twin Peaks?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I brought up any sort of television pop culture to you because you know far more about.
Except I've literally never heard of Early Edition.
Finally got you on one.
It's actually blowing my mind that I've never heard of this show.
Go watch it, dude. It's good. I don't know where you can watch it, but.
Oh, so somebody Hunter just brought up BTCC, and the race posted something that was actually what's the guy's name? The UK F1 champion, Nigel Mansell.
Mustache Man.
Mustache Man. Are you watching? Are you watching the stream?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
It's MUJ. I like just the venti mocha.
So, look at that. Look at that, huh?
Oh.
How sick is that?
Dude.
That, honestly, that's the kind of stuff we should get into.
Yeah, they all had to be sedans, right? Like, that's the touring car aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't know if they literally had to be 2 doors, but...
4 doors. Because I think they're all 4-door.
Well, I don't know if they had to be 4 doors, what I'm saying. Like, the BMWs, is the BMW a 4-door? Or is it a coupe?
I don't know, I'm just looking at the video now. I'm enthralled.
Yeah. So...
Have you seen that video of all the F1 drivers in the 90s that drove the same...
Yes. The same Mercedes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the bomb. Nigel, like, guest appeared in this race, in a British touring car race, in that Ford Mondeo, and this whole video is like, there's no, oh yeah, they're all 4 doors, yeah, there's no commentary, but he absolutely wrecks so hard. Like, it's like not...
He wrecks the competition, and then...
Well, he does. He's absolutely tearing it up, and then this happens.
Are you going to get, like, copyrighted flagged for this here?
No, we're reacting to the content.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, somewhere... Yeah.
Lost a mirror there. Oh.
Well, that was Tiff Needell from frickin' Fifth Gear.
Yeah.
Look at this. He loses the rear. These were all rear-wheel drive, by the way. And then he gets tagged by Tiff. Look at that, dude. They didn't have containment seats, bro.
Oh, dude, did he have a Hans device either? Because his head was like flopping.
Yeah, this was in the 90s, so this was before Dale. So I don't think Hans was like a thing. Yeah.
To be fair, Nigel Mansell is still around.
Yeah, he's still around. But dude, like you should just go watch this. Like they're so tone deaf in the broadcast about the fact that he like almost just died. Like they show replays of him like in car like hitting, like as it's like before they've even determined that he's like, okay. It's insane. But yeah, a rear-wheel drive Ford Mondeo, sequential.
Oh, yeah. Eric Catil built his car in GLTC based on BTCC,
right.
At least the styling based on it.
Yeah.
And he did not miss.
Yeah. It was a golden era. I would go crazy to drive one of those.
Is that just us being old because we're looking at like?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is us being old because I have no connection to a Ford Mondeo. I've never seen one in my life. You know what I mean?
Well, they never came to the U.S.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not a nostalgia thing. I have no attachment to a Ford Mondeo. Like it's just something, or if you look at like old silhouette cars from Japan, right? Like in the 80s, the like insane turbo lag cars. I've never seen one. Silhouette car, Japan.
What would you say is the best era?
These things.
Motorsports.
But
period. So that includes like 80s rally. That include like Group B rally. That includes any era of F1. That would include any era of any form of motorsports.
What do I think is the best?
Yeah.
I feel like you're contractually obligated to say rally.
Why?
I feel like the Group B is like as crazy as motorsports ever got, right? It's like the combination of.
Is it the best?
I don't know, but I mean that's a taste thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, cause I dig '90s F1.
Yeah, I mean
it was kind of the last fully analog era, even though it was not fully analog.
Yeah, they were starting to get dual clutch.
Yeah, they went to sequential and whatnot. Or a anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Jake just brought up the Can-Am cars. Like, are you familiar with Can-Am in the 70s?
I hear Can-Am and I think of the 4x4s.
No. Can-Am, Porsche, these guys.
Sorry, there's lag. Oh, yeah. Shoot.
Yeah.
It's Le Mans-like, but not. Is that part of Le Mans?
No, this was a different series. It was called Can-Am. So this Porsche in particular, the 91730, was a flat 12 turbo, and it made like 1400 horsepower or something like that, which they controlled with a knob. They controlled boost with like a knob in the car that was like connected to a wire.
Yeah, it's like 80s F1 when they used to run qualifying engines, where they would just run them way over boosted, knowing that they would not last very long, and then they would swap the engines out for the race.
Yeah. Like those cars would hit over 200 miles an hour at Road America on bias ply tires.
Yeah.
With no aero. Like the aero was just the fact that the car was like kind of a wedge.
Yeah. Dude, if you look back at like really old race car, like 60s race cars, and you're like, oh, they didn't have like aero figured out. They didn't even know how to put rings on cars and stuff. And then you're like, Well, they must have been so much slower, right? Like the horsepower, like 300 and 400 was a lot back then. You get on the sim and you're like, I'm gonna drive one of these, right? And you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
death trap.
Yeah, it's insane how long people have been making very high horsepower top speed cars. Like in the 1930s, cars were going, almost what, like 200 miles an hour or something like that, like making insane amounts of horsepower in like, bathtub style cars.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I look at I don't know a lot about land speed record stuff, but like Bonneville stuff. But like the technical land speed record was that like thrust SSC, which is not wheel propelled, but that was in the 90s. Like the basically two gigantic jets strapped onto a thing that was rolling on the ground. But the fastest wheel propelled, I want to say, is still like close to 400.
Yeah.
But they still use turbine engines for those, and they lob it to the wheel somehow.
Yeah, I think at a certain point you like just have like friction issues, right, with anything that's like on the ground. Like the fastest are like rocket sleds, like the fastest thing, or is that just the fastest accelerating thing?
That wouldn't be a wheel propelled, because that would also be just sliding. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much a tire itself can endure, because the tire expands on those land speed cars like 2 inches when you get at speed. So like at a certain point, it would just pop, and you don't want it to pop when you're going 400 miles an hour. It's crazy.
Yeah, so somebody's saying, so Nick at Night says he owned your FD, like your FD.
Oh, how about that? Yeah, it's the same color. It's just wrapped.
Yeah.
Nice. I talked with the guy who did the fabrication stuff at Grid Life, South Carolina, I think a year or two ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the guy that did the fabrication work anyway. So,
like the original fabrication work?
Yeah, like for the initial K-swap stuff.
Okay. So I'm just calling out a Twitch comment because I'm trying to let Twitch know that we are aware that we're streaming on Twitch. Snoopy wants to know how your Ford Escort is. Can you show us the Escort a little bit?
It is.
You're just showing us like the wheel, basically.
Oh, sorry. There. Forgot I have to point it like way up.
How is it?
So the last time it was on the channel would have been probably 6 or 7 years ago, if I were to guess. It blew a motor the last episode that it was in. That motor was then immediately replaced like a week after that video was filmed, and I did actually film that, fixing it and replacing the motor, but it never made it into a main video because my focus changed and moved on. But it does run and drive and everything. And the last time I started it up was to move it to this garage, which was 2 years ago. Fired up right away. So even though I got the gas in it now, it's probably 5 or 6 years old. It fired right up. Yep. It's just there.
I was thinking about how much aura that car had 10 years ago when we were like 19,
Yeah.
And like that was the car that like ruled the streets in our friend group, right? Like if you actually compare it to like people that had V8s back then, it was probably not very fast, like if we wanted to go roll race or whatever, but like
I've been known to upset some Mustangs back in my day.
Yeah, but we're talking like not fast Mustangs.
Mostly I could beat the V8s, but they had to be close to stock.
Yeah. Which, when considering that like the V8s at the time were S197, like that were still 4.6s, that's not really that impressive.
The Fox Body 5.0s, those were kind of tough, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, probably because at that point they were all modded.
Those were lighter too, but that was where I got people, is because my car was so light. So like it makes 280, I think, to the wheels.
Does it now?
It weighs 2,000. Huh?
Is it even turbo now?
Yeah.
Wasn't it naturally aspirated for a while?
No, it's been turbo since we met.
Yeah, I know. I thought you like swapped an NA like SVT engine in for a while or something after you blew up one of the Z-Techs.
Yeah, that's what this engine is. But I
Okay.
still have the turbo on it. I still have a turbo on it. It's just a stock motor. These motors
Oh.
can hold 300. The last one was built because I wanted more than 300, but then I ended up blowing up that engine because there's zero baffling in this pan,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize how important that was.
Yeah. But like I was thinking about like how that car was the tits. You know what I mean? Like I was like scared of that car, low key. In like a caveman, this car faster than my car, therefore it intimidates me type, you know, like mentality.
Barely faster than your car.
I know. But like it's funny to think about that, and then like we don't ever do anything with it or talk about it or think about it, right? Because it's like just it's a nothing chassis kind of. And obviously you aren't satisfied with the like quality of work that you did on it, you know, 15 years ago, but I don't know. It does definitely feel like content that's just sitting there.
It's a time capsule car for me. Like it's legitimately like if you were to put stuff into a time capsule and bury it, and then like you want to open it later down the road. That's what it is to me. Like I can look at it and see the imperfections that I did in it, like especially the paintwork, which is just awful because I painted it. And that's
I know you painted it. I sanded it.
that's how we met. Was,
Yeah.
Sanded it for forever.
Yeah.
And I still did a terrible job painting it. And so like I look at it and I see all that, but it's like that's the car I learned everything on. So it's cool to look at that stuff and see that. And I don't want to mess that up by, you know, doing stuff to it.
You're being too nostalgic, dude. Who like literally who cares? Like you can appreciate that. People would like to see it. I would like to see it. I just like to see like because we're talking about like literally how cool BTCC cars are. That's like as close as we've got.
Well, I still know every bolt on that thing and how it gets put together because it's extremely simple, especially compared to some of the newer cars and more complex cars we have. I could build another one pretty quickly and cheaply because
yeah, man, but then it's like. If you build a new one, it's like, why? But if you go back to this one, it's like, oh, well, he already had it. Like, this makes sense. Like,
but that's like painting over the Van Gogh, you know? Not that
brother,
Van Gogh.
Yeah,
like,
no, it's not.
It's my Van Gogh. It's literally my first car.
This is the most narcissistic thing I've ever heard you say, and that's saying something.
It's my Van Gogh to me. I don't care if it is to anybody else. Of course it's not to anybody else, but like, it's my first car, and it still is my first car. If I do stuff to it now, it's no longer my first car. It's like why people don't like repaint classic cars. It's like
no, bro.
Survivors are worth more than cars.
That doesn't make any sense, dude. That would be like, oh, well, now I've had my Evo for 10 years. I can't do anything else to it. Because...
Well, your Evo's not your first car.
It is essentially, yeah.
It's like your 8th car.
I've had that car for 10 years. It's like effectively my first car. There's no reason for you to like imprison that mediocre work in crystal or whatever.
You can see like how far like we've come in
Who can see?
Cars,
Who can see? You won't show it to anybody. You're not doing
it. It's not for anybody else.
Well, so stop saying you can see. Stop saying you can see. You only you can see, not everybody else. So there's no.
All right, so I'll make a video showing off all of my mistakes that I've.
Yeah, you know what? I would love to. Yes.
I think. Hold on, I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna be very careful not to show this brand new vehicle I have over here. Okay. Are we pointed the right way?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it? Right here. Look at this paint quality. Oh, hold on, I gotta point it differently. You see you can still see the sanding marks. And I put Bondo all up in there. You see all that?
Ben, no.
The bumper doesn't even have the 2 bolts that are supposed to go through there. because it's a pain to put in.
Yeah, I mean that's
Fender.
right. That has nothing to do. It did have those bolts in it.
I put this like gold foil all over all of the intercooler pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Zip tied up, as you
Yeah,
do.
yeah, that's sick.
This radiator is from a Mark III Supra, and I put it in because I wanted a bigger radiator because more heat from the turbo, and I notched the frame. Some of my first welds right there. Pretty rough looking welds, but cool that I get to still look at it and see, how bad my welds were back then for that notching there. And then for some reason I just made a bracket on this side. We got, I think that's the reverse light plug that I just never wired in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, maybe it's this one. Oh no, I'm losing track of what goes to where. I can't remember what that sensor is. Ugh. Rough. Yeah. That's about all you can see from down here. Oh, I have some, I gotta be careful where I point the camera. Oh, I can't get up under there. Dang. Did some fabric. Yeah, there we go. Literally, the first time I ever welded, I made that bar.
What the hell is that for?
See, isn't it cool to see that? It doesn't really do anything. Knowing now, it was like a subframe brace. There was an aftermarket that, and I was like, oh, I'll just make one, and so I did. And it's to brace the subframe because the lower control arms go to that point right there, and so in theory, it just reduces flex between the rear. Yeah,
in theory. Isn't it aluminum?
No. It's mild steel with slightly rusting, even though it's painted.
Oh,
do you see those of welds?
I'll be honest, it's very hard to see anything over this. Let me enlarge my screen.
Hold on, I can get it. Get it closer. There we go.
Hey, you know what? It's MIG and it works.
It was stick.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was MIG, so that's impressive.
Well, there you go. But that's, see, I could redo that and do it better, but it wouldn't be like, I gotta turn the camera around now without showing. Oh, there's some parts and tools over here. Okay. Yeah. It looks like Bondo. Yeah, see?
You gotta tilt it up more.
Okay.
What is your No, that doesn't do anything. That's
What?
fine. I guess that's fine. I don't know what the hell your camera's mounted on because it seems so hard to adjust.
There. JB Weld. Yep. Yeah. If you're wondering what car I bought, right there that I'm looking at, you can scroll back on the live stream, and I showed the engine earlier. And
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, guys, let's get a poll of what car do you think that he bought? It's not really a poll. Just guess what car Ben bought. Do you want to say the color? Ricky B's asking what the color is.
Can I say the color? Yeah, it's blue. And I'm gonna say the actual color code because obviously that would. But it is blue. I have an affinity for blue cars, I've noticed.
Yeah.
You know, my first car was blue. I got a blue RX-8.
Montego blue.
Yeah, the RX-7 was Montego blue, which is more of a teal, but yeah. These comments are funny. C9, interesting. Tesla doesn't have a V8 in it. Let's see, Fiat 500. Good guess. Mustang, not a Mustang. Mustang, 100%.
People are saying Pontiac G8.
Yeah.
What would actually be sick is if it was a Pontiac GTO.
Yeah.
Highly slept on.
Yeah. You remember that G8 that we drove on channel like way back?
Yep. Pretty
It
sweet.
was a good car.
Was that
Yeah.
manual? No, that was an auto, right?
No, it was manual because I remember it being like one of the like few trims. It was
GXP?
something. Yeah, it was something after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
a
the
Chevy
first
SS
time
would
we
be
had
cool.
our Panasonic.
Huh?
We had our Panasonic
Oh, with the
cameras for
Panasonic?
the first time on that. Yeah, because I remember the color grading on it was like, just the settings on the camera were way off because we didn't know how to use those cameras yet.
Somebody asked if I'm in my room. I am, in a way. I'm in my hotel room. I'm in Indiana, and I have the 2GR in the back of my truck, and tomorrow we are going to start working on it. It's going to be very exciting.
Well, I think I'm gonna go.
I think I am too.
Okay.
Thanks for...
F1 practice to watch here in 40 minutes, but I will probably be asleep.
Thank you for helping share this load with me. The load of this live stream. This live stream load.
Yeah. No problem, Ben. I'll help. I'm trying to think of some way to phrase that. See, I need to take an improv class, then I'd be more quick-witted, right?
I don't know if that's how that works. I don't know if a live stream class, if an improv class like makes you funny.
I just need to be quicker. My brain moves in too many directions, and then I realize that I'm in like 6 different directions, and I'm like, wait, hold on, reel it back.
Yeah.
Too late. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyways, thanks, and thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everybody. And well, make sure you tune into the channel on Saturday at 9 a.m. EST because Ben is going to reveal his purchase. And honestly, guys, this is going to be like an insanely exciting. I'm very excited, and that's saying something. Like, I'm just so psyched it's not a K series. I'm just so excited it's not a K series.
Yeah, dude, this like working on a V8 is insane. Like, not only is it twice the number of cylinders, everything is twice the size.
Yeah.
From what I'm used to. Like, it's just crazy. But I don't want to give away too much.
All right. See ya.
Okay.
Bye, guys.